Contracts to purchase homes often come with appraisal contingencies. These protect would-be buyers in the event the appraisal determines the home is worth less than what they agreed to pay. VA loans feature their own unique appraisal contingency known as the VA Amendment to Contract. This key document is required on all VA purchases. The Amendment to Contract contingency protects the VA buyer's earnest money if they walk away from a deal because the appraised value came in below the purchase price. Earnest money is a good faith deposit buyers typically include when making a purchase offer. Generally, the VA expects the amendment to contract to be signed and included with all contract documents at the time of the appraisal. This contingency allows prospective buyers to walk away without financial harm if the appraisal comes up short. But it also notes buyers may still be able to move forward if that happens. So let's consider an example. We'll say you get under contract on a home for $225,000. Soon after, an independent VA appraiser evaluates the property in light of comparable homes that have sold recently in the area. The process concludes with a formal notice of value, indicating that the property's fair market value is $200,000. At this point, you have a decision to make. Mortgage lenders are going to lend on whichever is less between the purchase price and the appraised value of the home. In this example, the VA buyer could appeal the valuation using the VA's reconsideration of value process. They could ask the seller to lower the purchase price and renegotiate in light of a lower value. They could make up the $25,000 in cash, or you could walk away from the contract entirely and resume the home search. Every buyer's situation is different. Talk with your loan officer if your appraised value ultimately comes in lower than the purchase price. You should also talk with the loan officer if you're considering buying a distressed property that's owned by a bank or government agency. At Veterans United, we require every home seller to sign the VA Amendment to Contract, even if the seller is a bank or government agency like HUD, Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac. Banks and government agencies aren't always willing to sign the VA Amendment to Contract when they're selling their foreclosures or other distressed properties. Depending on the lender and the seller, there may be little point in pursuing certain properties if the seller ultimately refuses to sign the amendment to contract. Remember, though, that at the end of the day, this contingency is in place to help protect VA buyers and their bottom lines.